On this channel, I usually draw from my experience as a financial coach, but today we're going to talk a little bit about my history as an instructor in the drone industry. The reason that this is relevant is because of the stuff that's going on in Afghanistan right now. For those of you who don't know, the Taliban just took over the main government in Afghanistan. A few years ago, I was training the Afghan National Army, or ANA, how to fly drones there in Afghanistan. Now that the Taliban has taken over, those guys are scared for their lives. The Taliban has a history of killing people in a very brutal fashion. We're talking dragging people out of their homes and killing them in the street, chopping people's heads off. It's pretty bad. The fact that I know some of these people and have trained some of these people and have shared meals with some of these people just makes it hit that much harder for me. As far as a humanitarian crisis, this is about as bad as it gets. And it makes me feel helpless that I can't do more to help them right now. We're working on organizing funding for some of these guys that hopefully they can make it out of the country. This is where it gets really interesting and kind of ties into the financial topics that we typically talk about here on this channel. A lot of times when you're trying to transfer money to a different country, you'd use a service like Western Union. Western Union's going to take their fee for transferring the money, which we're not a huge fan of because we want as much of that funding to go to those guys and their families as we can. Unfortunately, when we went to transfer funds using Western Union, it wouldn't allow us to transfer any money to Afghanistan. It's a really bad time to not be able to transfer money to Afghanistan. Cryptocurrency would be the perfect solution to this problem. If those guys had cryptocurrency wallets set up, we could send money directly to them and cut out the middleman entirely. Unfortunately, the infrastructure in Afghanistan is such that cell phones aren't really working over there right now. A lot of these people have been isolated from the world. Imagine not having access to the internet and not having reliable phone service, and then being hunted down for your former profession. It's a pretty scary scenario for these people. One issue with our cryptocurrency solution is that there's a bit of a learning curve to how to use crypto. Trying to teach someone how to use a new form of currency while they're fleeing for their life is a little much to ask. Those that are wealthy and could afford to have already left the country. Those that are left there are some of the most impoverished people in the world. So if you've never understood the utility for cryptocurrency, maybe now you can see some of the importance of why having access to funds like this could be super useful, especially in chaotic times like these. Had we had more time, we could have set up cryptocurrency wallets for these people in advance so that we could get them the money that they need to get their families to safety. Unfortunately, now we're struggling to make this happen, and the clock's ticking. This is literally a life and death situation for these guys. We're exploring some other options with other apps we could use for transferring money. As I mentioned before, though, it's difficult to download an app when you have limited cell phone service and no access to the internet. I'm sorry for the somber feel of this video. I just can't get excited while this stuff is going down. So hopefully we can get these guys some help and we'll find a way to get them some funds. Thanks for watching, and send your prayers to Afghanistan.